at 7:01 p.m. on February the 20th, 2024. We'll stay seated for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. We'll move to the mayor's address. The Bunch Cup snowmobile races on February 3rd and 4th at the Snowdrifter site experienced one of the largest crowds in the event history. The weather was excellent, the track was excellent, and the racers were very pleased with the organization and execution of the event. The racers are looking forward to returning next year, as Paul Fraser of the Flying Dutchman Racing Team expressed in his letter to the editor, that the Bunch Cup races are the best in North America. The Vulture Cupping Committee and their team of volunteers did an amazing job in attracting major sponsors, training and certifying track officials, and recruiting volunteers for parking, site supervision, and food and beverage service. This is another example of a dedicated volunteer organization promoting North Algona Wilberforce in Renfrew County by hosting a world-class event. On Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, I will be attending a meeting with St. Francis Memorial Hospital, Killaloe, Hagerty Richards, Madawaska Valley, South Algonquin, and Hastings Highlands to discuss the hospital's funding requests for the emergency department redevelopment and physician recruitment and retention. On Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, I'll be attending a meeting to discuss the challenges related to short-term rentals in Renfrew County. And finally, on Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, I'll be attending a virtual meeting with Dr. Kieran Moore to review, discuss, and address concerns with possible healthy emergence. Excuse me. Finally, I want to thank the administration staff and department heads in the preparation of the North Algona Wilberforce 2024 budget, addressing council's recommendations and presenting a final draft to council for approval. And that is Mayor's, yes, sorry, you're ahead of me. Moved by Councillor Bird, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Councillor Bird? Yes. Councillor Buckwald?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Ryder-Schultz?
Yes.
And a yes. That's carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, and we'll move to the adoption of the minutes. And I have a motion that the February 6th, 2024 special budget, public regular, and February 13th, 2024 special budget meeting minutes be approved as presented. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Any additions, corrections, or omissions? Seeing none, Councillor Burt? Yes. Councillor Buckwald?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Ryder-Schultz?
Yes.
And a yes. It's carried. Thank you. We have no delegations tonight, so our next item is 7.1, which is the blue box transition. I have a motion that council accepts the blue box transition report as presented, and that council authorizes staff to formalize an eligible community depot operations agreement, option number 1 with Circular Materials Ontario to opt in for depot operations. And moved by Councillor Burns, seconded by Councillor Buckwald. Comments, questions? Councillor Robinson?
Just a couple of questions. One of the, when I went through the document, on page, I think it's 36, what happens to non-designated materials? you know, we,
And maybe we'll ask
Why-
Adrian.
May I address that in there?
Yes.
So non-designated material would be considered waste.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Technically, everything that is brought into any waste site is called waste, but it would be categorized as domestic garbage waste. So, throughout Ontario, every 444 municipalities and then the indigenous communities, every area would have the same type of recycling. Now it's kind of up in the air what you accept and what you don't accept. So there is a common recyclable product right now as everybody transitions. So a non-designated material would be considered garbage.
Yes, follow
Follow up. So would that mean that there'll be more going to the landfills?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, that's right at the, if you look at, here, this is page 4. So you have kind of what's taking place right now, but, so that's 100% of the producers gonna pay for everything. I would say that it's very similar to what we're recycling right now.
Okay,
If not, maybe a touch more.
okay.
Councilor Pichon.
So just a couple questions. On page 38, and it says designated materials and then still excluded, it says alcohol packaging. Any idea what that is? Alcohol packaging?
Not really, but I know that alcohol products, so the cans and everything, they still have to go to the
Yeah,
the beer store, I guess. It
Yeah.
goes to that's where they take it to.
because I was just trying to think, most times you do take your empties and your bottles back, and then I'm thinking beer comes in a cardboard case, so that would still be recycled. Okay. And then,
I believe it's the plastic, so the plastic rings that
yeah,
are on the 6 packs of beers and stuff like that, that is, so a lot of plastics people think that are recyclable have never been recyclable, so
Right.
anything black, brown, or of any other color isn't recyclable.
mhm,
It's always been waste, because that product has already been recycled once. So that's why it has the color to it. So
Oh.
it's black, brown, red, whatever color it is, it's already been recycled once, which makes it a weaker material to produce again as a recycle.
I think sometimes it's confusing, because if you flip them over, they still have the little triangular
Yeah,
that says reusable. On page 24, it says, transition period 23 to 25, and then post-transition 26 and onward. So when I'm looking at that chart, it says less than 5,000 population divided by 1,000, but no less than 1. So it looks like we'd have 1 to 5 bins. So like in our whole township, we'd have 1 to 5 bins? Is that what it would look
that
like?
was page we got.
24.
I think that was one question, sorry.
Slide 24 of the presentation.
Yeah, slide 24.
Yeah, they're talking about bins that you collect other than depots. They're talking if you went around the town and collected and picked up the bins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we don't have that. It's not
Okay.
any of this stuff. So we're only a depot only,
Okay.
producer. So that's showing you a park as if if we went around the parks and collected recycling right now, that they would collect it for us.
Okay. And the last thing, well, second last thing. So McNabb Braeside, they opted out much earlier than us.
Yes,
Do you know how they're doing? Does anybody talk at your meetings at all or anything?
I haven't. They must be doing well for CIF. So the Continuous Improvement Fund has been helping all municipalities that wanted to. So this
Right.
is from CIF. I can't answer that.
Right.
I know that a lot of the dates that have been produced or thought was going to be a transition date haven't been. Toronto was supposed to be the first one in January 1st, 2023. And they haven't been, so when that moved to July. This is a big endeavor, probably a little bit bigger than it probably assumed it would be. Our transition date was supposed to be January 1st in 2025. It's now March 28th of 2021. So, the transition dates have always been pushed from what I can see. I talked to, one of my colleagues, I guess, or former colleagues in Madawaska Valley, and Hastings Islands, and in Hastings Islands, they still haven't did a transition date, and it was supposed to be January of this year, January 1st of this year, so things have been pushed, but And there's a lot of unknowns, even though that they do have a nice PowerPoint and information on it, there still is a lot of unknowns with this circular materials Ontario. So I did receive a call from him today to, he was asking some questions that I could answer for him, but I didn't call him back today.
So what do you think it's gonna look like on March 25th?
March 28th?
Yeah, right.
I probably, if I'm a betting man, I would bet it's not gonna happen on March 28th.
What would it look like if it did happen?
So as I presented my report, so I'm presenting my report to still run our depots as is, but without your transit or your transportation to take it away hauling costs, right? Because I know in October, and Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think October, our Ottawa Valley Waste, the Blue Box program is going to be taken over by Ontario, which is one of the two top recycling companies in Canada right now. So, I just feel that it's probably a better way to do it because we still have to look after our garbage. We still have to look after our organics. You still have to look after a few other things, right? So you just have to remember that this Blue Box transition date is only for hauling of fibers or containers. So
And,
we still have a lot of sorts that we're sorting out outside that
right.
need to be taken care of.
And then we wouldn't be paying, haulage on that or tipping fees for the recyclables and the fiber. Is that the way?
That's the program, yes. So if we take away the hauling, we do not pay for the fees.
Right,
If we did choose to do the depot plus the hauling from March 28th, 2024 to January 1st of 26, they would pay us a fee
right.
to do both of those. Now, if we, in the opt-in, just for depot operations only, we will get some sort of a fee to do that for them.
Right, and then we'd end up like for the garbage in our containers, and we pay tipping fees on whatever that is when we take it to
Yeah,
them.
we just wouldn't take different fees under the box insurance, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
So there is some cost recovery for us or less cost, I guess.
Thank you.
Councilor Buckwell.
So just to clarify, if we went with option one, which again is just to run the depot with no transportation, that only comes into effect once we finally get an actual date. Until then, we just keep going on and as we are.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep on going as we are until our transition date. Right now, it's slated as March 28th, 2025. And even though it's 9 months later, then it's everything's taken from us. So they're looking after everything. They're looking after the depots, collection and the hauling costs. Yeah.
Thank you. And Councilor Buckwell asked the same question I was going to ask. Is option one basically just as status quo and exactly what we're doing now?
As we operate our depots, yes.
Thank you.
The only change from what we have now with the way I presented to council that we will not be doing the hauling with Ottawa Valley.
Right.
It would probably be in Terra anyway at that time, or I believe it was this week that the RFP for the hauling for Renfrew County has been submitted, so you'll find out that out shortly.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, Councilor Berg.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Reddy-Shumway.
Yes,
Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.2 is a zoning amendment application. I have a motion that council accepts the report as presented and further direct staff to process the zoning amendment application. Moved by Councilor Berg, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councilor Reddy-Shumway.
just on, letter E, where it says is recommended that the applicant consult with the township's chief building officer. So I'm just wondering, the chief building officer would also talk about like outhouse issues, I'm assuming. Because if it's a school, right? You're gonna need some kind of washroom. So I'm hoping that's one of the things that,
Yes, go ahead, Michelle.
So I know they have consulted with the CDO. I'm not sure if that's a question they have, inquired about. But like I said, they have had conversations that CBO during this application.
Because I'm hoping that's one of the things that maybe they would have talked about, simply because I'm not sure the lay of the land, but if there's water or something, or a marsh or something near there.
It does, it also indicates in that report that we could ask for a drainage, report. Has that been done? Or is that something we would have to, direct through Jill?
That is, so if the municipality, wanted to, impose that condition, it would be, so council would have to make that decision, yes. Within conjunction with staff.
Okay, is that something council wants to do, or are we okay with the way it's presented? Councilor
Well,
Ricky Shaw.
I think it's a good idea to look at the drainage.
Yes, Michelle.
So staff can, and consult with the CEO to see if that is something that, she feels would be appropriate to this. And report back to council.
Okay, and in the meantime, would we defer this then until that information comes back?
So that could be, so the drainage, plan would be a township, requirement. So we could forward the application to the county renter, so they can and stuff. Yes, since we do have, under the new, procedures, we do have certain timelines.
Right,
And we could prepare that report for next meeting.
do we have to add that to our resolution, or can we add that to our resolution is a better question?
We could have direction. So we can include, what we have there right now, the council accepts the report as presented and further direct staff to process the zoning amendment application and to investigate the need for a drainage plan.
Okay. Are the mover and seconder okay with adding that? You had another question?
No, I was just,
Okay. I'll call the vote then. Councilor Byrd?
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell?
Yes.
Councilor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilor Becky Trumbull?
yes,
Yes. It's carried. Thank you. And item 7.3 is a zoning amendment application, Visetsky, and I have a motion that council accepts this report as presented and further direct staff to process the zoning amendment application. Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Becky. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd? Yes. Councilor Buckwell?
Yes.
Councilor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilor Becky Trumbull?
yes.
And a yes. It's carried. Thank you. Item 7.4 is the employee health benefit report, and I have a motion that council accepts the report regarding employee health benefits and directs staff to engage with Cowan. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments, questions? Councilor Rakeshon.
I'm just glad that we decided to look into this because there is a cost savings associated with it. And especially with Cohen, because, you know, we can, if there is a surplus, then we will be getting money back. So it's kind of like a double way of getting money. So thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Councillor Burnt. Yes. Councillor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councillor Robinson,
Yes.
Councillor Eddie Schultz,
Yes,
and yes, and it's carried. Here. Item 7.5 is the draft schedule of fees, and I have a motion that council accepts the draft schedule of fees information as discussed and directs the clerk treasurer to prepare the bylaw for adoption at the March 5th, 2024 regular council meeting. Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councillor Buckwell and then Councillor Eckert.
Just a quick one. Do we really need to put township merchandise in a schedule of fees? Wouldn't that be more dependent on like what we had to pay to get them as we replenish stock and such?
True. Those are the fees that we're currently charging. And so we have two options. We can remove them, or when we receive new merchandise, we could, amend the prices by resolution, so.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
Councillor Eckert.
so just a couple on the first page, staff time associated with complex inquiries, research, search requests, cost recovery. Any idea what that would look like an example of, and how much that could cost?
Okay, so we would, so how would we would come up with cost recovery? We would look at the individual wage costs, the overhead costs, and calculate the hourly wage rate or hourly rate for that.
Okay. Another thing, the outstanding invoices at just 1.5%. Do we think we should increase that? That was just a thought. And then there's two photocopying ones, one right under that, 25 cents, and then it's, and then down, right, it's about 5 from the bottom, just above computer programming. It's photocopies too, and it's 20 cents.
Okay, so for photocopying, so the one is under the municipal freedom and information request, and we're legislated what we can charge for photocopies. Okay, so that's legislated at 20 cents.
Okay,
However, for normal photocopying, we have proposed that the charge 25 cents for regular or $1 for color.
okay. All right, I was just wondering why there was two different photocopying amounts. Okay, and then, Schedule D, what, where it says fire reports, I'm just wondering what that looks like, $100 per occurrence. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so so I know that sometimes the fire department gets requests for, it could be compliance reports, compliance with the fire code. So that would be $100 per.
So they would go into a house and say they're not compliant because they don't have X, and then they would just be charged, we'd invoice them, the township would invoice them?
So that would probably be in conjunction with the property sale.
Yeah.
If I can, I've got some background. So this is, yeah, so if someone's looking for something for an opinion before they purchase property or selling a property, or a real estate agent is looking for information to determine whether or not something is up to snuff in the fire and that sort of thing. It's basically for optional inspections, not ones that we would do for code enforcement,
Right, okay,
but ones that are requested over and above that from the public, usually for a commercial reason.
okay, all right. And then, just Schedule J, and maybe it's just a title thing. So it's a bag is $3, a grocery bag. There's not a lot of grocery bags anymore. Like, and because they're banned, I guess. Could we change that to like a kitchen catcher, or I don't know. Maybe it's a definition, maybe we say the size 11 by 14, I just made that up. Like, you know, because there's not a lot of grocery bags out there anymore. Just a title thing.
Okay,
Just
so
for
we
clear-
can look at those so that, so we had just recently passed a new bylaw for waste fees, and
Mhm.
that was taken from.
Yeah,
that.
and I never thought of it then until I really looked at it thinking we really don't have, but anyway, that's, But I'm still thinking with the outstanding invoices to increase that interest per month.
And I like your idea of just putting the measurement of the bag beside, you could leave grocery bag there, but just put the measurement beside, and like you say, it could be a kitchen catcher,
Mhm,
could be a small
mhm,
black bag or
mhm.
green or whatever it's called. Yeah, Council Buckle.
Yeah, it's just on the interest or outstanding fees, they're not a limit that we're allowed to charge for monthly interest for things like that.
For tax bills, yes, that's, legislated, to my knowledge, monthly interest, on outstanding invoices, no. When we drafted this bylaw, we did, make comparisons to what our municipalities, charge for similar items, and that's how we came up with the 1.5% interest. It was, comparable to other municipalities,
So this is for things other than, tax arrears?
yes.
Okay,
Council Robinson.
I'm just asking, is it, per month, compounded or not?
It's per month, yes.
Compounded?
It's a good question.
Because to me, if it's not stated, it's not compounded.
Well, that's,
Yeah,
And if we want to
so it's
compound it,
balance going after after 1 month. So it appears it's only 1.5% per month. It would be compounded, no.
which probably should clarify them,
Mhm.
because otherwise you just have that amount and it goes to interest. How do you know the amount you're gonna be charging you on?
Mhm.
Any other comments? Do we have to bring this back with the changes or have you made the changes already?
So we've, again, we've, captured the changes and we will implement them into the bylaw that comes back in that meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns. Yes. Councilor Buckwell,
yes,
Councilor Robinson,
Yes,
Councilor Director Tomfeld.
Yes,
And yes, that's carried. Thank you. And then we get to non-action items and, correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.5 be accepted as information. And I'm gonna move in a seconder, moved by Councilor Director Tomfeld, seconded by Councilor Burns.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we had, I'd like to bring one of those items as for discussion,
Sure.
9.15,
9.15, yes.
February 7th.
And we
Okay.
already did that.
I thought the resolution sort of included 5, did it not, 1.15, did it not? Or did I miss here?
There's two items on 9.1.5, so we removed the letter date February 7th, 2024,
Okay,
but
Okay,
And the rest is in here. Okay.
thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes,
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Director Schoenfeld.
yes,
And yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 9.2.1 is the town of Petrolia. Whereas the township of North Algona Wilberforce received correspondence from the town of Petrolia, and that the council of the township of North Algona Wilberforce support the motion from the town of Petrolia, call upon Roma and Ogra boards to reestablish a combined Ogra and Roma conference. And furthermore, a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Premier Doug Ford, Minister Paul Calandra, and MPP John Yakubuski. And I got to move in a seconder, moved by Councilor Ike Schoenfeld, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. comments, questions, Councillor Buckle?
I thought I received something recently in my email that they had made the decision to recombine Roma and Ogra.
No, they haven't yet, but I'm aware of.
Okay,
Any other comments? I don't agree with it, and one of the reasons I don't is that there were over 1,800 delegates this year at Roma. Some of the education workshops were full, you couldn't even get in, they had to turn people away. They had trouble even sitting everybody at some of the luncheons. So to combine the numbers, it's going to get even more confusing. I kind of like it separated, but that's just my opinion. Councillor Ackes.
Was the reason why because there's lots of similarities between the two organizations and probably speakers and stuff like that?
I think there's enough difference. I mean, the older one is more geared towards the public works side of the operations, municipal operations, where Roma is more of the admin and political side. So, Councillor Robinson.
I guess the question would be, is the OGRA numbers very low? And they're having, why are they making?
I don't know.
The Good Roads Conference typically have between 1,100 and 1,300 delegates each one.
So that would be ridiculously,
That would be
Just-
huge.
yeah.
That's huge altogether.
Yeah.
I believe the original decision, because it was combined at one time.
Yes.
It was because it was getting too large,
Mhm.
from what I understand. And Mayor Burrows was correct, there is some similarities, but it is geared more toward public works and public works managers and education for them. And it is more for councils and political and administrative at the role.
Yeah. No, I think it's
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, I will call the vote. Councillor Byrd? No. Councillor Buckle?
yes.
Councillor Robinson?
no.
Councillor Ackes?
No.
And I'm a no, so that's defeated. Item 9.2.2 is the Edenville Leader St. Patrick's Day. I have a motion that council direct staff to purchase a 1/4 page ad in the Edenville Leader Irish Edition magazine in the amount of $225 plus HST. Moved by Councillor Byrd, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments or questions? Councillor Ackes.
I like the second one.
I like a second one too.
Me too.
Sounds like we have consensus.
It's a very peaceful, tranquil creature.
It's the other one, it's like,
Exactly. The other one's like cows.
We have a lot of those in our township.
Yes.
So I'll call the vote. Councillor Byrd? Yes. Councillor Buckwell?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
yes.
Councillor Ackes.
Yes.
Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 9.2.3 is the County of Renfrew Economic Development Strategy, and I have a motion council direct staff to invite Melissa Marquardt, when available, to make a presentation to council regarding the Renfrew County Economic Development Strategy. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Ackes. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councillor Byrd? Yes. Councillor Buckwald?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Ackes.
Yes.
And yes, very good. Item 9.2.4 is the AMO council training, and I have a motion of councilors wishing to be registered for the AMO educational virtual training program to advise staff of the selected programs by 4 p.m. on Friday, February the 23rd, 2024. Moved by Councilor Schoenfeld, seconded by Councilor Buckwald. Questions, comments? Councilor Schoenfeld.
I'd like to take part.
And I would too. I'm interested in the counselor training. I think it's the level 3
Or session 3?
or session 3.
I'm interested in session 3 too, the budget and strategic planning. That one.
Any other interest, Councilor Robinson?
No, I would like to, but I haven't sort of drilled down, but I will let them know by Friday.
Okay,
And what is the date? Is it, do we know what the actual date is? I kind of looked, I couldn't figure it
I should say above it.
out. Huh?
I think it says above the information, it gives the dates for each one.
If you click on the link, the blue links in the
Right there?
document,
Oh, okay, but I'm not online right now. Okay,
That's all right.
one of them is May 14th.
which is the session 3? Could you click on that one? Or could you please?
October 2nd.
October 2nd,
Okay.
Pardon?
October the 2nd,
Okay, perfect. I'll put it in my,
2024.
October 2nd.
That's most likely the one.
And once we're registered, I'm sure they'll send a reminder that,
So just to comment, sessions 1, 2, and 3 are part of the same educational.
Oh, okay,
It's a 3-part.
oh, okay.
They're not just individual standalone workshops.
well, that's
That's good to know. I thought they were 3 separate.
Yeah, no, because the registration fee covers all 3 of them.
Okay, great.
perfect.
Thank you for that. Okay, seeing no other comments, then call the vote. Council Burt?
Yes.
Council Barclay?
Yes.
Council Robinson?
Yes.
Council Becky Schoenfeld?
Yes,
Yes. Very good. And are we back to president concern, right?
Yeah, we are, yes.
Okay. So just for council's discussion, I know it's come up a number of times, and it's in regards to the sound or sound quality or lack of sound. So just would like to have a discussion around that. Comments? Councilor Buckwell.
This has been an ongoing situation literally for years. We've dropped the ball. We haven't followed through on it and dealt with it. I'd like to see us move forward with it with a definite timeline to do troubleshooting and testing of the first of all, the equipment that we have. Because we do have the owl, and it does have its limitations. We have the sound system with the microphones that we had on our desks for a while. They also have limitations, but I think what we need to do is see if we can tie it all together. Because I believe that the sound mixer that comes with the microphone system will work or can be made to work either with the owl or with one of the laptops running the presentations. I think that maybe you're moving our tables closer together without this space in between and having the owl right between it. I think that should help with the council table itself. We still have to find a way for staff, but I recall a time when the staff members, like the clerk and the deputy, they sat at the table with us, so they were right there. They could be heard by the owl and be a resource immediately at the table. And I'm sorry, Adrian, but we only get 2 people at the table, so you'd have to sit at the one out here. You look heartbroken, I can tell.
I'm okay.
He's not gonna try.
But again, there are options that we can try to make this work, and we just haven't proceeded with them. I think we need to. So. And I'm more than willing to help staff out with this. I've got some experience with computers and technology and the sound equipment. I'd be happy to give up an afternoon or a day to come in and work with them to try and move forward.
Council Reggie Schoenfeld.
So what's a reasonable time that we could say that we're gonna have an answer back about something?
I think we can try the first two things for our next council meeting. One of those would be moving our tables together with the owl, relocating staff and relocating the tables so that that all fits.
Okay,
I think that's reasonable for our next regular meeting.
okay. So then would you be willing to just come in early or come in the day before so we have everything?
Oh, I'm thinking it would have to be a day or a couple days before to do some testing ahead of time.
Okay, but you're okay with that before our next meeting?
I'm okay with coming in. I can work that into my schedule.
Perfect.
It'll just mean hijacking a couple of the staff to come out and play counselor for an afternoon in various positions, checking out the sound and doing a test of the live stream at the same time, how the audio comes through. But yeah, I'd be willing to come in, help out with that.
It's worth a try, because for the longest time, we knew a big part of the problem was the fact that we didn't have reliable internet. We do now with fiber, so I don't think the video or the transmission is the issue. It's just trying to solve the sound issue here.
So if council okay with that, I'll just make an arrangement with Michelle and the other staff to find a day to come in and do that.
What about the staff issue?
We're putting the staff.
Well, if we bring them up to our table
Mhm.
and move the tables closer, that would put Michelle and Laura closer to the owl as well, which would hopefully help with that. And if not, then again, I'm hoping to incorporate the desktop microphones into it as well. For those of us that tend to speak quiet.
Council Reggie.
And if you know the time and if I'm available, I can come in and just be a body in a chair, and that might free up one of the office people. So as long as you know, just, and I can go.
Yeah, we could arrange a time. I would try and make it. And depend on my schedule. Yeah. Like they say, it might take some bodies in a chair just to see.
Well, it's either that or you've ordered one or two people like moving from chair to chair and trying it. But we should still have somebody in another room listening to the live stream to see how it's actually coming over the system.
But can
Let me know what date on the do it though.
Okay.
I can't.
But why not? It's your quiet time of year, isn't it?
Coming crazy, right?
So I guess it's just a matter then of coordinating a time when we could try something.
We'll let us know.
That's what we have a minute after the meeting. We can talk later about schedules and stuff.
Okay, good. Thank you. So item number 10 is bylaws, and now therefore the council of North Algona Wilberforce. Oh, did I miss one?
So we did do this resolution.
Oh, sorry.
For that.
Yes. So the resolution that staff proceed as directed by council, can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Burns. Any other questions, comments? Councillor Reggie.
just so it's kind of clear, like when we go to read the minutes, could we just say in regards to the sound system or something like that? Just add a little more information into the resolution? And it would be nice, because they always say we should put a timeline on it before the next regular scheduled meeting. Maybe? Council meeting? Yeah.
And staff proceeded directed by council regarding the sound system and that a system check be completed before the March fifth council meeting. And Mover and seconder okay with that, okay. Now I'll call the vote, Council Burns.
Yes.
Council Buckwell,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yes.
Council Rector,
Yes,
I'm a yes, that is carried. Thank you, and now move to bylaws. So now therefore, the Council of North Algona Wilberforce enact the following bylaws. Bylaw 2024-11 being a bylaw to establish reduced load restriction period on municipal roads. Bylaw 2024-12 being a bylaw to adopt the 2024 municipal budget estimates. And bylaw 2024-13 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a development agreement regarding Sharpeville. Moved by Councillor Buckhold, seconded by Councillor Reichel-Schultz. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councillor Burns.
Yes.
Councillor Buckhold.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reichel-Schultz.
yes,
And yes, that's carried. Thank you. Are there any matters of urgency? Any notice of motion? Committee reports have been received, upcoming meetings and unfinished business, so the advisory committee to council will be meeting on February the 28th, 2024 at 7 p.m. And our next regular meeting of council is March the 5th, 2024 at 7 p.m. And item 15 is our closed, and I have motion of council go into closed session pursuant to section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act regarding personal matters about an identifiable individual. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Reichel-Schultz. That we will be going in closed at 7:49 p.m. Thank you. Councillor Burns. Yes. Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reichel-Schultz.
yes.
And yes, that's carried. Thank you. And 16.1. I have a motion that staff proceeds as directed in closed session. Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Reichel-Schultz. Councillor Burns. Yes. Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reichel-Schultz.
Yes.
And a yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 17 is our confirmatory bylaw. That bylaw 2024-14 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for February the 20th, 2024. Be read a first and second time this 20th day of February, 2024. Be read a third, moved by Councillor Byrne, seconded by Councillor Buckwell. Read a third time and finally passed this 20th day of February, 2024. Councillor Byrne. Yes. Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reichel-Schultz.
Yes.
Yes, that's carried. Thank you. And finally, I have a motion that this February 20th, 2024 regular meeting of council adjourns at 7:57 p.m. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Reichel-Schultz. Councillor Burns. Yes. Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reichel-Schultz.
Yes.
And yes, that's carried. Thank you.